The Jitsu Master and the Squid.
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 Welcome to the Thug Jitsu Master.
I'm your host.
Thug Jitsu Master and the Squid Show is back from the home of the Squid and the home of the Thug Jitsu Master. Obviously, I am the Squid.
I am the Thug Jitsu Master, and this is our show.
This is our show. This is our season 2 season opener, I guess. Trying a little new format here.
We're going to go a little light this time.
Yeah, we're going a little light. No green screen today. We'll be back with the green screen soon. Both of us have a bit of traveling going on and have been traveling. We've been all over the country. I haven't left the country, but I've traveled quite a bit. You're leaving the country. You've left the country. Your PFL finals coming up.
I'm traveling the country. I'm leaving the country. I'm going to the finals. I'm going to the finals. I'm going to win $1 million. Oh, shoot, I'm not fighting.
Damn. I'll be there. We'll be there in New York, PFL finals. A lot of money's getting spread out.
Yeah. I'm going to make friends with some millionaires.
Yeah, that's the plan.
I'm going to have 6 millionaire friends. And each one of them to give me $250,000. And then I'm going to have $1.5 million.
You'll be the big winner here. And then you just got back. I guess we can just jump right into this. You just got back from. Were you in Oklahoma?
Thackerville, Oklahoma. Thackerville, Oklahoma. Like, oh, I'm gonna bring that back up. Just remember that name, Thackerville, Oklahoma. Now go ahead, Squid.
So you were in Thackerville, Oklahoma. Everyone knows Thackerville, so it's a pretty popular place. You were out there. Joe Schilling made his, I guess, comeback to mixed martial arts. We haven't really seen him. Last time we really saw him, what was it again? Melvin Manhoof?
Yeah. Carvalho.
Yeah.
Was his last MMA fight.
The last time I think we saw his hand raised was Melvin Manhoof.
Yeah.
And he looked really good. You were out there. Was it you, Mickey Gall? Gall. Sorry, Mickey, if you're watching.
Why can I never remember Jafari's last name?
It's all right.
Super D Wrestling. Jafari.
Put it right here. There it is.
Nice. Thank you for that.
At Super D Wrestling.
And Mickey and Bomba was out there. Bomba competed also. Had a good, tough fight. But let's talk about Joe's fight first.
Yep.
Because Joe looked good. He looked really good. He fought an opponent that was brought in, I believe, as a test. He had another opponent who dropped out about 2 weeks out. This young man took the fight on 2 weeks' notice. His last fight was at 155 pounds, but he's a tall guy. He's truly a 170 pounder. So Joe was the slightly bigger guy, but he was undefeated, and Joe was coming into this fight 2-5. So that was the question mark. What's Joe Schilling going to be like? Is he still going to be this kickboxer, can't wrestle, doesn't know what's going on the ground? Or is he going to be the guy that we saw on Friday night? And the guy that we saw on Friday night, I mean, before he walked out, he was hitting pads, he was hitting mitts. I was watching him and I'm like, you look like you're ready to stop a takedown. Because he was cracking hard, but his hips were under him. He was sitting low. He looked like a good, clean, crisp MMA striker in the locker room. And then he looked the same in the cage.
Yeah. That was some of the most brutal ground and pound I've seen in a long time. Vicious. Vicious.
Vicious, powerful, and fast.
Yeah, I've been around the sport a long, long time. That was a rare breed of ground and pound right there. There's not many guys you see throw ground and pound like that. It was a little reminiscent to you had Tyron Woodley's last fight with the brutal ground and pound. I haven't really seen a 70 pounder or 85 pounder throw strikes like that. It was pretty vicious.
Yeah, it was. And, like you said, his opponent was a short notice replacement, but an undefeated fighter, and he was dominant. He was good with his hips. I called it early in the first round. There was a moment where he almost got beat on a lat drop, and in his previous fights, when his hip hit the mat, he was going to fall to his back and try to look to close his guard and try to protect himself. But in this one, he drug that hip out. He did a nice hip heist to get his hips back and ended up on top. And that was the end of it. From there, he just stayed on top, dominated for the entire first round. Looked for a couple guillotine chokes, and didn't finish the fight in the round, but his opponent couldn't come out off of the stool after the first. And that was really impressive. Joe Schilling, his return to MMA, and came in at 2-5. Now he's 3-5, and he's a prospect now.
Yeah, I like the fact that Bellator gave him. I wouldn't say like they didn't give him the toughest of guys, but I think if you're gonna have a guy transfer over, he took on He had some pretty tough guys in Melvin Manhoff and Cavallo. I think if you want to build someone up, don't put him against the biggest world beaters, especially when Joe has spent most of his time in the kickboxing world. This is from knowing you and knowing Mickey. This is the first time I've seen like a true kickboxer really transition over and commit to a training camp. I see he spent long time with Donald Cerrone. Then it looked like he was training with with Lozon and all those guys up in Boston. So he really committed. I know Joe has family in Los Angeles and a baby and all that. So he made a real commitment to not just stay in LA, and you could tell he really, really wanted to get better and committed to getting away from LA and getting away from his gym and putting the time in.
Yeah, a lot of strikers, when they transition to mixed martial arts, they don't really want to do the things they're uncomfortable with. They still want to stay in on their side of the fence and continue to do their kickboxing and just dabble in the grappling and the wrestling aspect of mixed martial arts. You can't do that. Those guys come in, they look good sometimes. Sometimes they look good against other strikers or guys with very, very weak takedowns. But then, someone with average takedowns or good jiu-jitsu players, they look bad against. But Joe was committed. He hit that stride where he now understands what's going on much better with his hips. He doesn't make the rookie mistakes anymore of turning the wrong way. He doesn't make all the right moves, but he makes much less of the wrong ones now.
Yeah, and Joe's really strong. That one day that I went in was like he just was putting me in triangles and arm bars and stuff. I gotta say, his legs are really, really strong.
Yeah.
When he gets his legs wrapped around you and it's just an arm and a head, even though he's a kickboxer, it's no easy task to get out of that. I would not doubt he will get himself a submission sooner than later. I think later might be a little harder as he's going to climb up the ladder and fight better guys. But maybe in the next 1 or 2 fights, you might see Joe Schilling getting himself a submission.
That's a very realistic possibility. But on top of that, his striking. His striking is what it is. I mean, he's a world champion kickboxer, best American kickboxer ever. And that's going to open up some submission opportunities for him. He's going to hurt some guys who are either going to run away or turn their back or get stunned and dropped. And when he gets on top to unleash that vicious ground and pound, they may turn away from him or give him an opportunity to sink a submission in. And he's smart enough now, he's knowledgeable enough now in the submission game to take it.
Yeah, I'd love to see some of the, if there's any behind the scenes footage of him and Mickey training or him and Donald training and kind of see how he does against them on the ground. I'd love to see any of those engagements between the two of them because it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, before he left to go to Boston, and I went home at the time. I didn't go with those guys, but I was training with Joe a lot, and he didn't feel as comfortable as he does now because I came back after that trip and before he went out to this fight. we rolled a couple times, just trying to move around with him and control some positions. But I could feel his education. I could feel how much smarter he was in those situations. And I look forward to actually going live with him because it's not going to be easy anymore.
Yep.
And that's going to be fun, especially when it's not going to be fun anymore. Also, when he's able to submit me, I don't know if he's there yet, but I'm a black belt, so I don't think so.
Yeah, and also I'm a firm believer in what Cormier and a lot of people have called the rub, when you get to roll with someone and feel someone. Like if you do a wrestling match against one guy, and you get better after that match, even if he beats you. But to spend weeks with a guy like Cerrone, you could feel what he's doing to you, and what you have to do to counter it. You get better and better, obviously training with better people, and he chose some pretty good guys to train with.
Yeah,
those are ground submission artists.
And Mickey's a great guy for him to train with. They have a similar build. Joe is longer and a bigger man, but Mickey's a tall, long welterweight also, and I believe that's a very good training partner for him because he's going to pick up on some of the techniques that Mickey uses. They have similar body types, so those things will work well for him.
Yeah, and you well, speaking of long stuff, I was going to transition to the Fury Wilder fight, but did you want to catch me up on what about Oklahoma and Thackerville, or
Thackerville, Oklahoma? So this happened, and I was just curious as to the population of Thackerville and why is Bellator constantly going there. I know they have the WinStar Casino there. It's a nice place, but it's not Vegas. So it's one of those places where people in that region come to go wild and do a little casino thing. But I want you to take a guess at the population of Thackerville, Oklahoma.
fuck? I thought I'm gonna be wrong either way. 3,000.
Wrong. Very wrong. So the population of Thackerville, Oklahoma, if you would have guessed 2, you would have been closer. The population of Thackerville, Oklahoma is 440 people.
People just go there; they don't want to live there.
Nobody wants to live there. It's like everybody that works in the casino is the population of Thackerville, Oklahoma.
That makes sense. I'll have to check it out next time I go. My girl wants to go on a vacation, so
Yeah, go to Thackerville.
she keeps wanting to go all these expensive ass places. Thackerville, babe, I choose this time. All right, we're going to San Francisco next week. New York City for New Year's.
You go to the WinStar in Thackerville, and there's a section of the hotel the casino is huge. It's really big. It's like 2 miles long, I hear. And there's a Rome section. There's a Madrid. There's a London. There's I believe Tokyo or Beijing. So I mean, it's an international journey if you go to Thackerville, Oklahoma.
That's cool. It's like what do they call that at Disney? The Epcot. It's like It's like the Epcot of Middle America.
Yeah, it's exactly
That's cool.
what it is.
That's
the
cool.
Epcot of oil country.
Fun. I like oil. THC oil. But all right, let's move. Spend enough time talking about Thackerville and Joe Schilling. Wilder Fury. I had a chance to go to the fight.
That's huge.
Yeah, I woke up that morning. I was like, I felt something. I was like, I don't want to miss history. I don't want to miss history. Same time when I went and saw Cejudo beat Mighty Mouse. There was a couple ones I got like an itch where I was like, I should probably go to this because I feel there's a little bit of history gonna happen, and I gotta go. I first went to go buy a ticket online. I got a scammer scammed me out of $250. That's whatever. I'm dealing with
Look, you
Chase.
scammer, piece of shit.
I'm dealing with Chase. It's all right. I went down to the stadium, bought a ticket, went on down, and witnessed what I thought was probably the best boxing fight I can really remember in my lifetime. I really enjoyed Mayweather, De La Hoya. I really enjoyed McGregor, Mayweather. There's a few that I really enjoyed.
My fight of my life is Felix Trinidad Fernando Vargas. Just to put that out there.
That's a great fight. Mine's probably, if I gotta say, it's probably the Meldrick Taylor late stoppage fight. That's probably my favorite, just on pure output and
Chavez. Yeah.
yeah, pure output. 12th round stoppage.
With like 6 seconds left.
I come from a Hispanic family, and everyone was just jumping and losing their mind. So, but I like Meldrick in that fight, and sad to see where Meldrick is now. But I don't want to get too far off topic. If you guys are at home, Google that fight. You might just want to watch the last round, but Google Meldrick. Watch the whole fight, then also go down a rabbit hole of Meldrick Taylor videos where he is now, and after that fight, it's pretty sad. And he never got to win a world title. So, but I got to witness what I gotta say is one of the. It was like yin and yang. Yin yang is I had one of the best fights ever, but also one of the weirdest. I wouldn't say it's the most controversial decision, but I think we got robbed of a historical moment in this fight with Fury getting dropped in the 12th round, getting up, and if he could have won that heavyweight title off of that, it went down in history as one of the best fights ever, one of the best 12 rounds ever.
And, I think it still does as one of the best 12 rounds ever.
It does.
There's some controversy around. I mean, there's no controversy in the moment, but there is some controversy in that count. Did he really make the count? Did he have a little bit longer than 10 seconds? But even so, the way he got up, ooh, like I don't know if that was some gypsy magic or what, but that was ridiculous. I feel like he tried to get up once, and his body just wouldn't react. And it's like when you're asleep, but you're awake, but you can't move. And I feel like that's where he was at. Is like, okay, I gotta do this, and I'm gonna get up now. And he made it. I was celebrating. I was with my uncle watching the fight. I was like, whoa, did you see that? Oh my God, that was awesome. Yeah, he fucking won that fight. He made it. He got up. Like I thought he was dead.
If you watch Wilder, he had the same reaction. He's like, it's over. And then all of a sudden he looks over and Fury's back on his feet. The 2 times he got dropped, eyes never looked like they rolled in the back of the head, really. Like when he got dropped, he opened his eyes and his eyes were there. Like he didn't look like, whoa. He opened his eyes like and tried once, like you said, and he just got up and he was. Dude, I don't think you can really put him out. Like that's a tough guy to put Tyson Fury unconscious seems damn near impossible.
Yeah,
because he got back up and he wasn't wobbly legged or anything. He got back up and he was right back in there moving. I'm like, this guy is so goddamn like when he beat Klitschko, that's when I fell in love with him. I watched that fight live on my phone. I was on set of a movie, and I fell in love with his style and movement. Doesn't really land a lot of shots, but he wins.
I score that fight. I like that the fight was a draw. I think it was a draw. I don't remember how I scored the rounds, but I do believe it was a draw. Going into the decision, I thought it was a draw. I was like, with the 2 knockdowns, I believe he won 4 rounds. I think that's how I had it. And with the 2 knockdowns, that kind of makes it even. I don't remember. I wasn't writing this down. I was just trying to do the math in my head. And I'm really good at 2 things. I'm really bad at 3 things. But so I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, I've rewatched the fight twice since it happened, and I still I give a 1 round edge to. I give basically a 1 point edge to Fury, but shit's really close.
Yeah, it's a very close fight, and hey, we get to see it again. So I think it'll be better the second time around. Both men have an idea of what the other man brings to the table. Fury's been boxing his entire life. You know, his father, his grandfather were boxers. Deontay Wilder, he just started boxing after not making it to the league, pretty much. And he's a dangerous opponent. He's a special kind of athlete, and he's going to put in a lot of time to improving his boxing technique, his textbook boxing to go into that next fight. And it should be an interesting, entertaining, and fun fight the next time around. He looked good in the first 2 rounds, but I feel like he abandoned that game plan after the first 2 rounds and was looking for the knockout. So if he can shore up his boxing and stay the course, I mean, that'll make for an even better fight the next time around. And I believe, should that be the case, he should come in with a slight advantage this time around.
He should, and yeah, obviously, I think Fury won, but you can't really leave it to the judges to make the decision. But the positive side, like you said, we're gonna get a rematch out of this. So neither guy took a loss. They both can raise their head high. Joshua's been kind of running from Wilder for a while, and it shows that Fury stepped up. And now we're gonna get one more fight, which could really be one of the best fights ever. Now these guys know what they're getting themselves into, and now they're going to be very well prepared, and you really might see fireworks. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Wherever that fight is, I will be watching that live. I need to be there again. There's really no other fights going on right now that feel like history could happen. I don't.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a tough time for the sport, and it's a really good time for boxing. There's a lot of great fighters, a lot of great undefeated champions. Boxing's making a bit of a resurgence, even though HBO boxing is no longer a thing. This is open for companies like DAZN. They signed Canelo to basically the rest of his fight career on DAZN, so no more pay-per-views. I think we're going to move away from pay-per-views shortly. I think the world is going to move away from pay-per-views. I think they've, between Mayweather, Pacquiao, Mayweather, McGregor, Mayweather in general, I think the public has felt like they've spent enough money for one night of fights. And I think we're going to get into subscription models, paying $8 to $10 a month. I've heard some rumors, obviously, as I work at Pluto TV, I heard some rumors of the UFC as they move to ESPN Plus, that they might go to subscription model and put all their fights on pay-per-view. And it's like the fitness club model. You hope that people pay the subscription and forget about it forever. You hope you're gonna get more guaranteed money out of it. You can make yearly projections a lot easier when you have people signed up rather than speculating. We're trending towards 1.5. We're trending towards 1.8. I'm like, Dana, I don't know what the fuck trending towards 1.8 million buys means. You don't know if people are gonna show up. I'm a big believer in watching it on Periscope and other services too. When I don't think the fight is that great, but I still want to see it, I'll make sure I see it, and you probably won't get my money. So, just saying how it is.
Yeah, that's one way of looking at it.
Yeah. And I got to watch. I got to watch 2 good free fight cards this weekend. We had a Fox Sports card. We basically had two Fox cards this weekend.
Yeah.
The Ultimate Fighter finale. We had Usman taking on RDA, and we had JDS and Tai Tuivasa. 2 good fights, back-to-back nights. UFC tried their best to do some shoulder programming or try to, I don't know, just give something free. They did a good job, though, of not interrupting the Fury Wilder card. Dana's pretty good with that sometimes. I think he knew that was going to be a good fight, and he wanted to watch it.
You wanted to watch it?
He didn't put programming in the way. Yeah. It was like a Friday and Sunday card for the UFC, and then Saturday was for boxing.
Because he got some flack the last time he was watching a boxing match next to the cage.
I would do the same thing, and I'd do the same thing. Hey, he's
But
trying
you're
to
also not the president.
not yet, not yet.
Make
Coming-
the UFC great again, Squid.
I'm coming for that job.
Dana. He's
I am.
coming for you, Dana.
I am. If it's not through there, it's through another promotion. But I'm
And where he's from, they got to say, if you're coming on, come on.
yeah. So
That's
don't
for
gotta
the old
touch too-
school. That's for the old school heads. Everybody's not going to get that.
no, my young crowd's gonna do some googling. They're gonna Google "come on" and end up down a porn path and forget about what they forget about what they even Googled. Forget about what they're gonna write in "come on" and glasses and get down a fetish
Some bukkake video.
some bukkake videos. Yep, it's gonna be awesome. Yeah, but yeah, we saw Usman dominate RDA. Probably proven that I don't know if welterweight is the right spot for RDA. It's it may prove that the 165-pound division could be a good division for certain guys that find themselves right in the middle.
Yeah, there's quite a few guys that can move in a 165-pound division right away. Guys like RDA, Kevin Lee.
But there are guys that are perfectly in the middle that it makes for everyone wants multiple belts and multiple this. It's gonna. I don't know if champions are. I feel like the UFC, if you leave a division to go fight for another belt, you should probably either there's got to be some like 6 month or maybe you got to vacate it because when it's gonna happen a lot, especially if we have 45, 65, 75, 85, and 95. You're gonna have a lot of guys going up and down, making matchups, avoiding guys, and belts are gonna be moving, which is exciting because I like belts. It feels like pro wrestling now.
But yeah, it's a lot like pro wrestling. Cause I was just thinking, like somebody's gonna, like Kobe's gonna fight Tyron for the Intercontinental Championship.
I wouldn't mind like I thought it'd be cool if the UFC had like different divisions or like
you mean like the America's champion versus the Asian champion versus the world champion?
Hey, bring back if I took Dana's job, I would probably reincarnate the WEC and Pride, maybe even Strikeforce, and have belts in different promotions, different styles of broadcast, maybe different rules, and it makes for something fun because WEC is good for the light guys, but also it's a smaller cage, so it makes exciting fights. Pride is awesome because no elbows, white ring, quiet crowd.
Well, we got to bring up the whiteness.
Because Len Hart. So I think they dropped the ball by trying to drive everything towards the UFC. They could have kept multiple promotions going, but it's all good. I like different belts, different styles. I think the UFC keeps dropping the ball by not on like Pride anniversary. Just that's the most exciting news I think the UFC can do is we're bringing back a Pride card and Pride rules, referee cam, everything.
In Japan on New Year's Eve.
Huge fires and walkouts and bring out all the guys before do it right.
And the lady who talks like this.
That's Len Hart.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She's amazing.
Hey, she announced me 3 times. I was excited about that.
Yeah, I reached out to her to be our opening song for the show, and she didn't write back.
What?
Yeah, Len. I know you watch all of our videos, but don't not give us the voice.
Yeah, why are you hating?
Yeah, so I'm gonna pull up kind of what happened this weekend. Yeah, so that was the what they call it, Ultimate Fighter heavy hitters. So yeah, Usman had a 50-43 judge against RDA. That's But then you have
dominant.
another one that's
2-10-8.
48. That's another one that you have 48-47 with another judge. It's like, what? One's a 7-point spread. The other one's a 1-point spread. It's like, huh? You guys go
Must
to the
have been
same.
some close rounds.
Maybe some close rounds. I'm not gonna touch too much on that. The other fight, I guess there's probably 3 actually. I don't know if you caught any of Justin Willis and Mark Hunt.
I did not. I didn't see much of the UFC this past weekend. I was stuck in a boxing world.
Yep.
And
So
I was at cornering Bomba in Thackerville. I was stuck in Thackerville, Oklahoma. And then as soon as I got back, I came back and saw the boxing match. So I missed the UFC events.
Yeah, no, it was good. Justin Willis beat Mark Hunt. Kind of was just moving a lot, hitting him from the outside. Kind of really frustrated Mark Hunt. Mark Hunt starting to show his age a bit. Starting to show people starting to figure him out quite a bit. He hasn't really evolved his game that much. Hunt's always been able to strike and pop back up. Think he's definitely coming towards the tail end of his career. So Justin Willis beats Mark Hunt. Mauricio Ahua finished Tyson Pedro in the 3rd round on punches. And then JDS knocked out Tai Tuivasa in the 2nd round. And then after the fight, Tai Tuivasa called out Justin Willis for fighting like a pussy against Mark Hunt. It wasn't bad. It was a long fight card, lot of fights. But the thing the UFC is putting on a lot of fights. It's hard to follow along. I want to talk a little bit about this week. This weekend, I guess there's a lot going on. Glory Kickboxing is doing a heavyweight Grand Prix. So they got Glory 62 Rotterdam. So that fight is in Amsterdam. And if you guys are a fan of strikers, this is huge. This is there's nothing but knockout artists here. I'm really, really excited about it. You have Ben Sadiq fighting. You got Guido Innocente. You got Wilness fighting. Adegbuyi. If you guys follow Glory, some of the best kickboxing in the world, and they're doing it's a 8-man tournament one night.
It's 3 fights.
3 fights. They're having a couple, I think, reserve bouts because I think those guys are gonna have to come in there. You may even see a guy that loses first round win the whole thing. So we got that, and then we have Combate Americas is doing their Copa Combate up in Fresno. I'll be going up to that. That's gonna be really, really fun. We just launched a channel with them on Pluto TV. It just launched yesterday. Launched today. Fuck. Launched today or yesterday by the time you guys are seeing it. And then this weekend we got the Ortega's finally gonna get his chance. Finally gonna get his chance against Max Holloway. They were supposed to fight recently. Max Holloway had some concussion protocol stuff. He had some concussion symptoms and did not get to fight Ortega. This could be one of the best 145-pound fights ever.
Could be. I mean, Max Holloway's looked really good. I mean, both these guys look good. Max is what? He's on like a 9-fight win streak.
So Max Holloway. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 fight win streak.
That's crazy.
His last loss was Conor McGregor, and then before that was a split decision to our homie Dennis Bermudez.
Dustin tacked him, that's right.
Yep.
But he lost to Dustin, Dennis, and Conor. But now he's the world champion.
Those are his 3 losses, and he fought killers along the way. He finished Andre Fili, finished Clay Collard, finished Kiro Corsani, decision Cole Miller, finished Cub Swanson by guillotine, finished Charles Oliveira, decision is Jeremy Stevens, decision Ricardo Lamas, finished Anthony Pettis with a TKO with a body kick, and then finished Jose Aldo twice.
Twice.
So those guys he beat, that's the cream of the crop. That's basically clearing the whole division out.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all those guys. At least Jose Pettis, Lamas, Stevens, Oliveira, Swanson, Cole Miller, and Andre Feely have all been ranked in the top 10 at that weight class.
Yeah. I mean, everybody he's fought has been in the top 10 in that weight class, pretty much.
Yep.
Except Collard.
Even before that, he beat Leonard Garcia, Justin Lawrence. So he's not even a win over Harris Sarmiento. If you guys know who that is, a Hawaiian fighter with 1 million fights.
Yeah.
So
I remember Harris Sarmiento.
I almost fought Harris Sarmiento one time, and I got roped into. I went to Hawaii the day after my 21st birthday, and to do a kickboxing fight. And they're like, oh yeah, you're gonna fight some local dude. He has like new to fight. And I was like, oh cool. He's like, doesn't really have many fights at all. I get there at the weigh-in, I'm like, you get on a scale, it's Harris Sarmiento. I was like, whoa. I was like, you guys can't just come out and just all of a sudden
Blatantly lie to me.
Yeah, like don't fly me out and do a switcheroo. I would have fought him either way. I was just so pissed about the shadiness of it. I didn't fight him. I almost started a little riot at the venue. My teammate fought Ronald June that night.
Machine gun. Ronald June.
Gun. My buddy got destroyed by Jun. Got his butt handed to him.
Saw Ronald a couple weeks ago when Ray Cooper got himself to the finals. He was there with Ray.
He's a good dude.
Speaking of Ronald John and Ray Cooper getting himself to the finals, let's talk about that PFL final that's coming up, man.
What's the PFL? What is the PFL?
The PFL is the Professional Fighters League. It's an organization that awards fighters for what they do in the cage and not what they do with their Twitter handles. So, the Professional Fighters League is, like it says, it's a league. 6 divisions, featherweight up through heavyweight, regular season. The top 8 fighters get into the playoffs, and it's a playoff tournament. One night, 2 rounds of tournament. The first round, the quarterfinals is a two-round fight, and the semifinals is a 3-round bout. And because all commissions here won't allow you to fight any more than 5 rounds a night, and the playoffs were in October for all 6 of the weight classes, and now we have 12 guys fighting it out, and each of those 12 guys is fighting for $1 million on New Year's Eve. That's one of the coolest things in the world of mixed martial arts in my time around this sport. That is amazing. There are going to be 6 guys that make $1 million, and a lot of these guys are close to being the best in the world, but then we still got some guys who are far outside that top echelon, but they've stepped up their game throughout the season, and we've seen a lot of guys improve. And I really, really like what we're doing over at the PFL to I guess it kind of encourages fighters to seek their greatest potential, seek to get out of themselves the best that they can, because that $1 million is a very enticing prize, and it only takes 3 fights to do it.
What if you had to choose one fighter in the PFL that could take on a champion in the UFC? Who do you think would has the best chance, either stylistically or just skill wise, to challenge one of the UFC champions right now?
You got to go Ray Cooper, right?
Right.
Got to go Ray Cooper the third. Big puncher, good wrestler, not afraid to engage with anybody, anywhere, and he's vicious. I mean, he has the kind of viciousness we talk about his weight class. He's a 170-pounder. I mean, Tyron is a much more highly credentialed and pedigreed wrestler. He's fought the bigger names, of course. He's a big puncher also. but just the confidence that Ray Cooper has. He comes forward, he tries to walk through you, and he just doesn't care. He wants to get into a firefight. I think he has the best chance of beating a guy like Tyron Woodley. And then the second guy that I would put on that list is Abus Magomedov. He didn't look his absolute best against Sai Sadabusi. Sadabusi. But I honestly don't believe he thought he was going to fight Sadabu. I believe he was looking forward to fighting Bruno Santos because of the way their first fight with Sadabusi and Bruno went.
Yeah, Bruno dominated Sadabu that first time.
Yeah.
Just kind of held him down and kind of smushed him.
I heard some rumors that Sadabu had a knee injury in that fight. And he did look different in the second fight. He was able to defend takedowns better, stay on the outside, and do a little more damage. So it was a very different fight than the first one.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun time. I'll be out there. Nice little suit, maybe a little bow tie. I got a new bow tie and a new custom shirt made recently, so I'm gonna feel a little fresh. Yeah, that's exciting. PFL's doing it right. PFL is doing it right.
Yeah.
That's New Year's. Yeah, it's a pretty busy month in just for the sport itself. I'm still trying to figure out if is Floyd Mayweather fighting Tension or what?
Nasukawa? Who knows?
Right?
I mean,
Tension says
back
yes. Floyd said yes like once, then said no, and then said yes again, but then has gone pretty silent on social media because he doesn't think he needs to promote it. So he may be fighting, but he's not opening up his promotion engine for some exhibition. He's like, if it's an exhibition, why do I gotta tell people to put their eyes on it if it's an exhibition? Why am I promoting an exhibition if it's just an exhibition? He's like, pay me for an exhibition, I'll do it, but I'm not gonna participate in the marketing engine here.
Well, I don't know. Does he have a point? I don't know, but if it's straight boxing, then I'm very uninterested in it. If Tension can throw kicks, I'm a lot more interested.
Yeah, at least let Tension throw just kicks like wasting up, like because I feel like Floyd may be a little worried about leg kicks. He's gonna open the hands up. I don't know, but at least if Floyd's got all this defense, he shouldn't have to freaking worry about kicks if they're waist up.
Yeah, you say that, but that's something he's never seen.
That or a boxing match with let them wear small gloves. At least make it where there's some sort of difference here to see, because you're seeing a guy. Okay, Tenshin Nasukawa undefeated in kickboxing, undefeated in MMA. I assume also undefeated in boxing because I don't think he's had a boxing fight. So
he's also unvictorious.
Exactly. So I don't know. I think it's good for Tension.
What can you do?
And I'll always watch Floyd. I'll watch Floyd spar anyone.
Hey, I'm an undefeated boxer.
Nice.
You can look me up on BoxRec. Oh, you're actually doing it right now. Okay.
Bam. 2-0.
2-0. 2 knockouts.
Bam. You had a little 2-year layoff. You had your debut against Christopher Taylor at the Park Plaza Hotel in Houston,
Texas.
Got yourself a TKO and followed it up just about 2 years later at the Humble Civic Center in Humble,
Texas.
Humble, Texas.
No, Humble. Come on, say it with me. Humble, Texas.
Bitch, be humble. Sit down, be humble. And then the guy you fought there, he actually fought Vito Gaspari. I know Vito.
He
Vito's a
also won the
local
Golden
Armenian fighter from LA.
He also won the Golden Gloves championship when I got disqualified for being a professional. I was told that I could fight in the Golden Gloves, and then I fought first round or two in the Golden Gloves. And as I was going to the finals to face that guy, they disqualified me, and they let another guy come in and fight him. And so now I'm also a Golden Gloves champion because I beat that guy.
Yeah, and he had a draw with Vito Gaspari, and Vito was 9-1 at the time. Vito's got 15 wins now. I feel like he even won.
Hey,
like
check
he-
it out though. Check it out. Here, hey, I want us. Let's show them. Like, take a look. That's it. That's how I beat the guy. Look at that. Pretty damn dope.
Those looks like what size
It's on
gloves
YouTube.
are those? What size
It's on
gloves are
YouTube.
those? What size gloves are those?
10s. Had to fight in 10s. Everything over 154 pounds now is 10 ounce.
I see you here, April 28th. That dude looks all right.
Watch how hard he goes down. Laid him out.
Don't hurt people.
Check it out. Check it out. Watch it. Watch it. Here it comes. Here it comes. Blah!
What were your thoughts on the Liddell Ortiz fight? Do you have any thoughts
about it? I really, really rather not think about it because that remember when we were watching that Ryzen New Year's show where Crow Cop fought TK?
Yeah.
And I was like, these two old men. It's like I felt like two old men fighting in the parking lot of Walmart. That's how I felt. I felt like there was an old man fighting a much younger man in the parking lot at Walmart in the Chuck Tito fight. And it was obvious once that fight started who was going to win that fight. I mean, it was obvious beforehand. I think a lot of people knew Chuck was. He's just been out too long. He's too old to be in there taking shots. And Chuck Liddell got outboxed by Tito Ortiz. Did you ever think you would hear that phrase in your lifetime?
Dude, that punch that landed on Liddell's chin didn't even look like it was even flush. And Tito goes out there and does his stupid little Barry stupid thing. I don't know. He makes me talk all immaturely. I like Tito. Only thing I didn't like is right after the fight where he's like, "If you guys want to fight and get paid, come over here." And then you pull up the pay of these guys. It's like $1,000 for this guy, $1,000 for that guy, $1,000 for this guy, $1,000 for that guy.
You look at the pay-per-view buys, and it's like 25,000.
Yeah. You know, they dropped the ball. It got talked about a little bit. So the Black Friday was the day before, and
Yeah.
Fight.tv was offering a Black Friday sale, 50% off the fight during the 1 hour weigh-in, and they rescinded their offer a couple hours before and said, "We're not going to do this based on contractual issues." They don't realize they probably would have got 70 or 80 or even 9 or maybe 100,000 buys if they allowed that $20, because $20 is probably the right price for that fight.
Yeah.
$20, sure. That's a
Yeah.
couple.
That's what I paid for UFC 1.
$20 is fine. And that's where this fight is.
And that's basically what we were watching. UFC 1.
Yeah. So they.
I mean,
They're like,
it's
no.
more like UFC 7, but no, UFC 14.
Yeah, and you gotta think of the cascading effect that something like that this has. So you have people that probably were gonna buy it for $40, and then they hear about the deal, and then they pull the deal out. They're like, "Fuck it, I'm not buying it at all. I'm gonna watch it online." It cost them so many buys. I don't think they realized if they would have stuck with that deal, they would have had. I think they would have broke 100,000 buys. I do.
Cool.
I was gonna buy it for $20. I'm not gonna pay $40 for it. Well, you know what I paid? I paid nothing for it, Tito. I didn't pay anything. I paid nothing.
If I was at home in the Bahamas, I would have paid nothing for it either, and I would have watched it. I would have been a pirate of the Caribbean. The most amazing thing on that card was Cormier's training partner and Tom Lawler. Tom Lawler was on his knees upright, and he was still being sprawled on by a grown man who beat the hell out of him.
Deron Wynn is a very, very, very good wrestler.
Yes.
Even though he didn't decide to wrestle until later. He thinks he's got the striking of Cormier. I don't think he has it yet. If you watch the early Cormier fights, he was striking, but he was also throwing Josh Barnett through the air like a rag doll. So Cormier didn't sit in the pocket until a little later in his career. And I think this guy thinks he's a little too much like Cormier. If I was him, push the wrestling, it would have made the striking open up a bit more, and he would have made Lawler get out of there before the fight was over.
Could you imagine somebody running their mouth and popping off at Deron Wynn in a parking lot somewhere, thinking they're gonna beat him up because
midget, you little midget man, you little pudgy midget. I don't think he's a pudgy midget, but I know people would say stuff like that.
Yeah,
I've seen comments on some of his videos, man. They're not. I wouldn't say they're the nicest.
Yeah, they wouldn't say it to his face. That's for sure.
They would not say it to his face. Hey, he's got wins over some amazing wrestlers. Amazing wrestlers. He didn't wrestle D1, but he has a win over about 4 years ago. He wrestled Jaden Cox. If you know who Jaden Cox is?
No.
So Jaden Cox was I believe he's a two-time NCAA champion out of, I want to say, Missouri. He took third in the Olympics a couple years ago, the last Olympics, and this year he was a world champion at the United World Championships in wrestling. Deron Wynn beat Jaden Cox pretty good. Got a lot of takedowns on him only 4 years ago. That's the same year that Jaden Cox won the national title. That's about a year and a half prior to him taking third in the Olympics. So this guy's 5'6". He's 5'6". Jaden Cox is like 6'2", all muscle. The way that they look next to each other is way different, but
Jaden Cox can't get under his hips.
Compact. He's like a ball.
Yeah, like
He's
grappling
like a
a fire
ball.
hydrant.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what else is good.
That's it, man. I'm going to Bahamas for Christmas. Gonna go to a festival that we have on Boxing Day, the day after Christmas. I haven't been there since I was 18, so I'm excited about that. And then just a few days after that, back in New York to watch a couple guys make $1 million.
Are you doing Rogan too, huh?
Going to go talk to Joe tomorrow, which may be today for you if you guys are seeing this now. But then it could be yesterday if you're not watching it when it's first
they're
out.
probably not gonna. Yeah, this is. You did. Oh, you did Rogan last week. Oh, oh my God, you did Rogan a couple months ago. Nice. Yeah, that's where I think that's where our fans are. Oh yeah, you did Rogan last year. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. Cool.
Oh yeah. Those PFL finals were awesome. And that Fury Wilder rematch was amazing. Yeah.
It was, wasn't it?
That's where we're at. We're not PewDiePie level yet.
Yeah, I know. But it's all to the good. So we're back, guys. We're gonna give you guys your dosage of the Thug Jitsu Master and Squid, no matter if we're in the same city. Right now we're in the same city and we couldn't link up because we both have a bunch of things going on. But look what we did. We decided to sit in our homes, get our technology together so we can deliver to you the goodness that is us.
Yeah, and anybody at home, reply in the comments section or wherever you guys are watching this. Let us know what you want to see more of. Do you want some behind the scenes? Do you want more interviews? Do you want techniques? Do you want I don't know, science experiments?
Do you want some live shows?
Fight Party Live coming back as well. We got season 2 Thug Jitsu Master and Squid starting here. We're only about 1 year into our journey anyway, so
We need to do another Fight Party Live here at the house.
Yep.
We need to do one with the new crew, Mickey and Joe and everybody.
So we'll commit to. Let's take a look at the UFC schedule real fast as we approach 1 hour of the show. So let's see what the UFC has. So I assume we could do sometime in January. We could do a fight. Let's see. When
Can't do the 19th.
Can't do January 19th?
No. Mickey's fighting on that card, and I'm probably going to be with him.
Let's see what they have. Okay, they have so there is the 19th at Barclays. That's the one you're saying Mickey's fighting on, the fight night 143?
Yes.
I don't see him on the announced bout. So you sure he didn't get on the pay-per-view?
Well, originally he was posting it that he was going to fight Diego.
Yeah, I don't see it if it's confirmed yet, but yeah, it's Barclays. Well, we could do UFC 233, which is Cejudo Dillashaw, James Vick, Paul Felder, Robbie Lawler, Ben Askren, it looks like.
Nice.
Crone Gracie, Alex Caceres.
Nobody cares.
I care about Crone, but
I care about Alex Caceres.
you're not a Crone fan?
I'm not a fan. The only Gracie I love is Henzo.
Crone, I think, is one that actually has a chance to come after a belt. He's the only one I've seen since probably Henzo is the or before that Hoist, obviously. But
I guess I got to give him a shot. I don't remember seeing him fight.
He's really good. He fought Kawajiri in 2016 and smoked him, looked really good on the feet, and
Okay.
yeah, did really good against Kawajiri. Jose Aldo, Cub Swanson, Benavidez against Davison Figueiredo. So that's a pretty good one. So yeah, let's lock in Fight Party Live for that. There's still no main event. They have TBA against TBD. I don't know why it doesn't just say TBD versus TBD or TBA versus TBA, but TBA versus TBD.
Because they know who TBA is, but they don't know who TBD is.
It's like JDA, JDS, RDA.
Yeah.
And this is someone messing up. Well, good.
This fighter to be announced versus this fighter to be decided upon.
Because you got to announce one to decide the other.
Right.
Well, I guess it's been our first kind of one like this. I guess we'll do one in a few days after. Like I said,
let's do one before I leave the country because I believe my service won't be the best when I'm outside of the United States.
We'll do one before you leave the country.
And then one right when I get back.
Yeah, this is, like I said, we got quite the weekend. UFC, Combate,
Just buy some
Glory.
green paint and paint a hotel room in New York green.
Okay. We'll paint the
And then
town
we'll do it
green,
there.
like
We'll
they
paint
say.
Green.
Well, that's the Thug Jitsu Master. Oh, I disappeared for a second. The Thug Jitsu Master and Squid show, kind of like a podcast. This episode, little podcast style.
Podcast episode.
Yeah, I think people want to see some discussions. We're just chatting.
Just chatting it up. It's gonna be fun, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yep, and make sure you follow us on social media. Follow our joint account and follow each other's accounts. And yeah, I see that
Do
guy,
that.
and that guy above you keeps staring at me.
Yeah, because that's a killer. He's a killer. Come on.
All right, time to do my Google search. Get some porn.